Not a creature was stirring in the government. It is day 3 of the government shutdown. The last opportunity for a vote in the Senate to end the standoff before next week.
Madeleine Rivera joins us now from Washington with the latest. Hey, Maddie.
Hi, good morning. So today's vote would be the 4th one on the clean short-term funding bill. Senate Majority Leader John Thune indicated he does not plan to keep the Senate over the weekend if they can't advance the bill today. The chances of it passing are slim. Still, Republicans are hoping some Democrats will fold.
I realize that my Democrat colleagues are facing pressure from members of their far-left base, but they're playing a losing game here, with a Democrat House member noting yesterday, and I quote, "This government shutdown is a result of hardball politics driven by the demands far-left groups are making for Democrat Party leaders to put on a show of their opposition to President Trump."
Bipartisan Senate negotiations continue off stage. Senators want to fund the government, but Democrats also want to extend Obamacare subsidies. On top of that, Axios reports some progressive groups are flooding congressional Democrats' phones, encouraging them to, quote, hold the line. The pressure campaign making it harder for Democrats to reach a deal with Republicans to end the shutdown. That's despite the president suggesting he'll use the shutdown as a roadmap to make big cuts.
Republicans have gone radio silent. It's clear that they wanted to shut this government down, and they wanted to shut it down because they were unwilling to provide health care to working class Americans.
So the shutdown ends today if the short-term spending bill gets 60 yes votes. Otherwise, Republicans hope the weekend wears Dems down. Lawrence, Ainsley, and Brian.
All right, Maddie.
This is a clean CR. And Democrats passed 13 of these under the Biden administration. The last one was just in March. So all Republicans are asking is just fund the government for 7 more weeks. That's it. We're not adding any extra stuff. This is nonpartisan. Just pass this. But Democrats are claiming that Republicans refuse to protect American health. But Dems' proposal, their resolution would restore $200 billion in American taxpayer-funded health care subsidies for illegals, and it would reinstate the Biden's emergency COVID funding that would include illegals.
As many probably saw on our program yesterday, they have no problem with being dishonest about what's in these bills and where they stand on the issue. They want to fund healthcare for illegals. They made it very clear. They said it on the debate stage. They have said it on the campaign trail. They all raised their hand. And then when you go to the bill and you look, okay, what did they propose? So the Republicans released the language for what they propose. It clearly states where they're trying to do that. So, I mean, it's not going to end well for them. The president's going to get the slice and dice as a result of the government being shut down, and it's going to be a losing issue for them, Brian.
But if I want to get the facts, if I don't want to hear the hyperbole, I go 1-800-Nancy Pelosi. So she knows how to cut through all the political garbage. Listen to her.
What they're doing is wrong, and why would we abandon our commitment to the American people and say, okay, we'll keep government open so that you can give tax breaks to the wealthiest people in our country. And by the way, when every shutdown has been a Republican shutdown. Why? Because they don't believe in governance. They just don't believe in it. They don't believe in governance. So for them, a shutdown is a day at the beach. They love it.
Right. It is a day at the beach. Right. Every shutdown. That's looking at things from both sides of the hour. Everyone. A couple of things. The Wall Street Journal does write the president's got extreme confidence, and so does the GOP, that they're in the right on this. But they do have a fear that people who are going to get their health care subsidies cut, that could affect the midterm elections. Some are even saying, hey, maybe we do something in the few weeks where those subsidies extended for about another year. Why? Well, yes, they were inflated during the pandemic. That's absolutely true. Yes, there was money put in there for illegals. Even if it wasn't earmarked to illegals, it goes to these hospitals who treat illegals on a regular basis. But they do worry about the job cuts as well, because you have an OMB director who wants to bring the fiscal house in order. However, if you cut 10,000 jobs or let's say 100,000 jobs, some of those are Trump voters. And some of them work hard. And here they are, they go home and they find out they don't have a job. Rather than like a 3-week or let's say 6 weeks to get another job. At least when Doge came in, Doge said, hey, we're going to give you a buyout opportunity. You got your job till September. So I think some, according to the Wall Street Journal, White House insiders, a little concerned about the people, and a little bit concerned about the people losing health care. That's why Senator John Thune came out and said, I'm willing to talk about it, but not with the government shutdown. So maybe there's something there. And your senator that you talked to yesterday, who seemed pretty amenable, they are leaning on Senator Jeanine Shaheen, who helped sign on and make sure March wasn't a shutdown, and told Chuck Schumer to do the same thing, that she is trying to go across the aisle and maybe with a promise to revisit some type of soft landing for the people with subsidies on the pandemic levels, or people that might be able to they're going to lose their jobs, but just not lose them tomorrow.
Did you see that Hakeem Jeffries, he had this live shutdown streaming, and he thought he was going to get a lot of viewers, but at times he just had a few dozen viewers. And it featured Democratic House members, and one person that it featured has 13 million followers on TikTok. So no one was interested in hearing from Hakeem Jeffries. The Politico reporter who talked about this says that there were lots of cringe moments in this live stream.
Well, I don't think they have any leadership. I mean, maybe they have the leadership in name, but there's really no one out there with a cohesive message. Bernie's doing his own thing with AOC. Hakeem, it looks like no one in the House respects him at all. Nancy Pelosi has to go in there and provide cover for him. Then you got Schumer, who is so afraid of AOC that he's doing his own thing. So there's no one with one message. You got some other people saying, oh, there's stuff in there for illegals, but it doesn't matter. Then you have some people saying that's totally a myth.
You know what's crazy is that, they always say the next generation understands AI and social media better, but then you have a 79-year-old president who launched his own social media platform, who was doing memes one day in, who understands he would never just say, put up a stream and I'll do it.
Right.
He would know how to get the whole MAGA world to understand that coming up in 6 hours, we're going to be on, you're going to hear. But there was nothing promoted. They literally just flipped a switch and went on and thought people would know where to find them.
Right.
People have stuff to do. There's Thursday Night Football.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.